for the kids. This for my little homies.
Over the many years, we have seen a ton of chaotic recruitment stories that involve high school football players. The one that has always stuck out the most to me, and it's one of the crazier ones as well, is the Landon Collins incident, and it's hard to believe that was over 10 years ago. If you don't remember that, or maybe you just don't know what happened, back in 2012 in the fourth quarter of the All-American game, Landon Collins, he was making his announcement, his decision, whatever you want to call it. He was a 5-star recruit, the #1 safety in his class, and he narrowed his options down to 2 schools, LSU and Alabama. And you would think that most parents know what their son's going to say next. Although the world doesn't know it, they got to know, right? However, that was not the case, because whenever Landon Collins put on those Alabama gloves, his mom, she wasn't happy, to say the least. Some may even say she was pissed, and I can't be mad at you for stating that. And when they asked her why she was upset, it's because she stated, and I quote, "I wanted him to go to LSU." I think a main reason this one sticks out to me the most as well is because of this iconic picture. You can't make it up. Landon Collins is as happy as he could be, and his mom, you see her reaction, you see her face. As ridiculous as that story is, though, the one we're going to talk about today, I think it tops it. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Why do I say that? Great question, my friend. I'll let you answer it. Because of this individual right here, not only faked his signing day, and this is a real picture, by the way, he faked 9 scholarship offers. 9! What was so weird about this and caught everybody off guard the most is he was actually a pretty good ball player. He didn't need to do this, but he did. I don't think a lot of people have heard about this story, so I'm excited to tell it. This is the football player who faked nearly 10 scholarships and his signing day. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, meet Trey Daniels, a.k.a. Trevante Daniels, a.k.a. Trey Stacks, or underscore Stacks. That's his, or was his username on Instagram. Or actually, I think that is still his username. We'll get to that a little later in this video. For the sake of this video, we're going to call him Trey, but if you hear me say Trevante, same individual. A little background information about him. Like many others out there, he grew up playing football, and he had dreams of going D1. Of course, he had dreams of going to the NFL, but the first step, D1, right after high school. He played his high school football in the state of California. Unfortunately, he wasn't a highly sought after recruit, therefore, he had to go the JUCO route, and there's nothing wrong with that. Before we go any farther, I want to make one thing clear. To play at the next level in any sport, you're in the top 1%, and you got to be a dog. I don't like when people say, oh, well, you're only D2, or oh, you're only even D3, or JUCO, or NAIA, you must not be that good. Dude, you have no idea. There's levels to it. I just got to throw that out there. Anybody that's playing at the next level, they can play at whatever sport that is. More times than not, guys playing D2 ball were either the star player on their high school football team, basketball team, baseball team, stuff like that. I think you get my point with that. Anyways, although he wanted to go D1 immediately after high school, had to go to junior college. He would first attend and start out at Contra Costa Community College, which is located in San Pablo, California. For the small community college, he was a good player. By the way, I can't remember if I told you or not, he was a defensive back. He was always around the football. In one season and 9 games played, he had 33 tackles, 2 INTs, and 2 forced fumbles. I'm going to be showing you some of the film in the background of this video. You can look at it for yourself and you be the judge. Let me know in the comment section how good do you think he was just based off of the film. But all in all, I'd say he was a good player. Nothing more, nothing less. Shortly after that brief stint with that community college, he would then transfer to another JUCO that goes by the name of Los Medanos Community College. Or I believe the correct pronunciation is Los Medanos. If I'm saying it wrong, I do apologize. Very similar to his previous college, he picked up right where he left off, and he was a defensive back for Los Medanos College. Well, fast forward time into early 2020, he would post this picture on his Instagram. As you can see in the top left, his username is Trey_Stacks. Obviously, this is him in the picture, and I'm sure most of you have seen edits like this before. It's where the players, they're posting all the schools they got offers from and who they've narrowed their list down to and yada, 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 all that nice stuff. You know how the recruitment process works on social media nowadays. It's not really a flex, but it's kind of telling his followers and whatnot, hey, these are the schools that have offered me. And in this picture, with him in the middle of it, in the top left, we got the Kansas Jayhawks, Temple, K-State in the bottom left. On the right of them, the Texas Tech Raiders, that's a good offer. I believe under them that is Pacific. It's not a big school. I could be wrong on that. Then we get the Marshall Thundering Herd. Rice, that's a good offer. New Mexico State, and near the bottom right and at the very bottom right, Arkansas. Not just a D1 offer. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that is a Division I offer from a team within the best conference in all of college football. So yeah, that is great. Hey, Clap it up to Mr. Trey Stacks. That is phenomenal. I'm happy for him. At this point in time in his story/career, people are thinking, okay, he's got 9 legit offers, and I can't wait to see where he commits, where he signs. Similar to some other recruits, he announced, you know what? I'm going to have a big signing day for this, and I'm going to let y'all see who I choose. When it was time for his signing day, he would post this video and this picture on his Instagram. Matt wrote a clip.
For the people in the back, you know.
Jay.
This for the kids. This for my little homies.
In this picture, it is Trey Daniels signing what appears to seem his national letter of intent. Or at least that's what he was hoping it would look like to us. And of course, the picture wasn't the highest of qualities. You couldn't zoom in and really tell, so everyone's just taking his word for it. Why would somebody lie about this? The caption on this Instagram picture states, and I quote, "It's official. Your boy's a Red Raider. Just know all my haters was my motivation. Hashtag Fortune Flicks." If you don't know who the Red Raiders are, that is Texas Tech. So it's official. Clap it up. Mr. Trey Daniels just signed his national letter of intent to Texas Tech. How about that? And it wasn't like he was by himself. No. He had his family, friends there, and this was held at what it looked like, I think, a park or something. This was what I would label as a fairly big outing and a big deal at the time. Not only his friends, but his family. They were super proud of him, and this was a big moment in his life. Here's what one of his former teammates at Los Medanos College had to say. "It was not surprising at all. He worked hard to get in the position where he is at now. He was grinding all throughout the season. He was very confident and aware of the player he was and came out big when we needed him most." Going back to what I told you earlier in this video, he was a good athlete and football player. One thing that was odd about all of this is these media outlets and reporters were asking his head coach at Los Medanos to talk about this, speak on him, and the head coach was like, well, I don't have any knowledge of this. I didn't know he was going to Texas Tech, and I didn't talk to the head coaches, or not the head coaches, my apologies, the head coach and the coaching staff for Texas Tech. Shortly after this went, I hate to say viral, we'll just call it semi-viral, and Texas Tech got wind of this. They started doing some investigating, and they reached out to him. Long story short, the athletic department, after doing some digging and research, they were like, number one, we didn't recruit Trevante Daniels, and number two, we didn't offer him. So now everyone's asking Daniels, like, well, wait a minute. Why are they saying they didn't offer you? What's going on? What happened? Instead of coming out with the truth, you want to know what he did? He continued to play dumb and continued to lie. But I'm not going to act shocked, and you shouldn't either, because that's what liars do. They continue to lie and get in even worse situations. He came up with a great idea. He said, how am I going to get out of this? All right. I'm going to blame it on somebody else. You want to know what his rebuttal to all this was? He got quote-unquote duped by someone who posed as a Texas Tech coach. Daniels stated that this quote-unquote fake college coach also offered him on Twitter. Oh, brother. Your boy Matt isn't the sharpest tool in the shed. I don't claim to be, but even I know a coach, I don't care what sport it is, isn't going to give you an offer over social media. Come on, man. What are we doing? You at least got to talk on the phone with them, FaceTime, meet them in person, something like that. It's not even believable. Nobody in their right mind would think a D1 team like Texas Tech would have a coach offer you via Twitter DMs. Let's be serious. Here's my question to y'all. Do you believe Mr. Trey Daniels here actually got scammed? Like, he had no bad intentions behind any of this. He wasn't lying, and he actually thought he was talking to a legit Texas Tech coach? Me personally, heck to the no. You want to know why I say that? Because his argument's flawed. What about the 8 other offers you see right here that he lied about? What about those? Because they didn't offer him either. Oh, yeah, that's right. We haven't even talked about that too much because we're talking about Arkansas. None of these schools offered him. He didn't just lie about Texas Tech. He lied about Arkansas, the Tiger logo. Like I said, I think that's specific. New Mexico State, Marshall, Rice, Kansas, Temple, Kansas State. He lied about them all. You're probably thinking, well, yeah, that's the end of this video. He just lied. But just like Lee Corso says, not so fast, my friend. There's more to this. And believe it or not, after being confronted, he still continued to lie. When Texas Tech told him, "We never sent you an offer," here's what he said after that, and I quote, "They sent an offer, but there's a lot going on with coronavirus." This was back in 2020. So it's a lot of coaches going and coming. Here's how you know that's false. Because Matt Dowdy at the time, who was the director of communications at Texas Tech, said there were no coaching staff changes during the pandemic. In other terms, to dumb that down, this statement you see right here completely false. Oh, wait a minute. You thought it was already bad enough. No, it gets worse. He also claimed that Vanderbilt in Arizona offered him, which didn't happen. And since all this was being brought to light, Rice, who's on this picture you see right here, they responded to it and said, yeah, we never offered him. As a matter of fact, we didn't even know who he was. Here's what one of the assistants at Rice had to say, and I quote, "Our coaches said they never recruited Trevante Daniels or anyone else from Los Medanos College." With his back against the wall and being pressured even more, he was then asked if he could prove documentation of these quote-unquote scholarships from all these schools he was claiming offered him. Here's what Daniels had to say, and I'm going to read this off word for word. "I have to check the house to see what I can get you, but more than likely it's in storage where my mom threw it away after we moved." Oh, yes, the good old, I can't find it. You know, it's up in the attic somewhere. It's and storage units. What made all this even more interesting is on Twitter, he didn't post any of these Power 5 offers, but he was posting offers from low D2 schools. And what's really sad about this is those low D2 offers he were getting were real, believe it or not. If you don't know what I just said, I'll repeat it. He was posting his real D2 offers on Twitter, didn't post any of this Power 5 bullcrap, but on Instagram, it's almost like he was living a different life. What makes all this even funnier, when he was asked about his other scholarships, since he can't go to Texas Tech, he stated that all of his offers were pulled as soon as they heard about this Texas Tech scandal, and they didn't want anything to do with them, which isn't believable to the slightest. If you're a dog, if a team like Arkansas thinks you can help them, they don't care what just happened with Texas Tech. They're still going to recruit you and go after you. I can guarantee you this much. If he had Travis Hunter's talent, teams would have still been recruiting him. That's my point. That's where I'm going at with all this. Oh, yeah, by the way, if you are curious, and we'll get to this in just a second, all these Instagram posts, they're deleted. They've been deleted. He would post some tweets on Twitter like this: "Shaking my head. This situation got me looking so bad, but nobody know the right information." Another one: "I'll never put my family through anything like this or the LMC football program. It just don't make sense, but I'll let y'all believe it." And here was his final statement to the media: "Why would I put my family and myself through anything like this to lie about a piece of paper to play football? It doesn't matter to me what's real and what's fake. I know the truth, and that's all that matters." Here's my question to Mr. Daniels. I know this happened 45 years ago, but if I could get in a time machine and ask you a question then, this would be it. Why are you still lying? Like my guy. It's over. It's been over. These athletic directors, assistants are coming out saying, yeah, we never even heard of you, and you're still trying to act like you're the victim in this. What are we doing? The links people go to continue to lie. It's something that fascinates me. Ironically enough, we made a video about roughly a week ago talking about Kevin Hart. If you haven't seen that, feel free to watch that one. Kind of a similar situation. His story's way longer, has way more details, and if you guys ask me, way more interesting. But I think what happened to Trey Daniels here, it is a similar thing to the Kevin Hart situation. Just like Kevin Hart, Trey Daniels, he had dreams of going D1. He wanted it badly. If I had to give you my best assumption, it probably started out as a very small lie, like he was telling some of his close family members and friends, hey, Texas Tech, they just offered me. They come up to him next week and like, have you got any more offers? And he's like, oh yeah, well, Rice and Arkansas and Marshall, yeah, they offered me as well. And I get it. I really do. I wouldn't do something like this, but I understand the thought process. Because once you get to that point, it's so hard to turn back and tell everyone that's so excited for you that you are lying. So you just continue to lie, sort of to make others feel better. Because you don't want to let those people down because, number one, they're proud of you. Number two, they believe in you. But it's kind of like ending that relationship with the girl you know it's not going to work out. The longer you keep prolonging it, the harder it's going to be to leave. That's the best analogy I can give you with this situation. He just got way too deep in this. Here's a bit of information y'all might want to know. His Instagram's still the same @ as it was years ago. In his bio, it says 2 words: Troll King. I think that right there solidifies it. You're guilty, man. Like, if you have Troll King in your bio, it's hard to make an argument for you. I guess he fooled some people for about 4 to 6, maybe at max 8 hours, but eventually the truth, it came out. And I got to go back to this. I don't understand his fascination with lying about all those offers because he was one of the best players on Los Medanos College. If you don't want to take my word for it, here's a cold hard fact. You can't take this away from him. He was first team all defense. The guy could play some ball, so I do got to give him some credit and respect. If you're wondering what he's up to now, he is just a regular civilian living a regular life, and there's nothing wrong with that. I thought this was interesting. I'm curious. Let me know your thoughts on this story down below. But